Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another trade recap. Today's Wednesday, 27th. We took an L and a win today. Unfortunately, the win streak is over, but that's all right. It was a good trading day. I really thought I had really good analysis, technical analysis today. Um, just didn't go the way obviously hoped for. But yeah, let's get right into it. But as you guys know, the drill. Gotta pack a little Lippuccino in first. Cheers. All right, let's get into this. So as always, we're gonna start on the higher time frame, which is the daily. And as we can see, it's extremely bullish. We haven't retraced back into this new week opening high, so this is definitely a key area that I want to see price balance out and eventually trade down into. Something else I want to note, we had a candle closure above the previous all-time high wick, and we created a bullish CISD. And that's basically it on the daily time frame. Dropping down to the 4 hour, we can see that it's obviously bullish. We created a new all-time high during London session, being this wick right here, and this swing low is our minor sell side, which was our bearish target for the day. I also noted this 4 hour bullish IFG, which should act as support, keeping price up if we do decide to trade down into this price level, price zone. Yeah. On the 1 hour, we see that we have consecutive bullish candles creating a liquidity void, meaning we're more than likely going to retrace down into here and at least tap into this unmitigated fair value gap. I was, yeah, I was looking to take longs out of here, depending how we reacted, obviously. But other than that, there's really not much. We have the 4 hour swing low, the 1 hour swing low, and this 4 hour busy. Other than that, there's really no gaps to mark out, and use for any technical analysis, in my opinion. I also want to note, since this is a very large premium wick, if you draw out the quadrants on this, those levels should act as resistance. So that is something I want to note going into the market, just in case I do decide to take longs. Dropping down to the 15-minute, we see that we created a bearish IFG, so the lower time frame is bearish right now. We closed below the previous swing low, creating a break of structure and a bearish change in state of delivery. So as we can see, we have the unmitigated busy and this 15-minute swing low, which I do want to see get tapped, and then look for longs out of this gap all the way back up to all-time high. So my notes were, for the daily, we're bullish, close above previous all-time high, created bullish CISD, expecting price to rally higher on the higher time frame. 4 hours said created bullish IFG, respected the gap and went higher. So we created the bullish IFG right here, came back down, respected it, and pushed us higher. For the 1 hour, I mentioned that we created a new bullish leg up, created a busy that's unmitigated. Want to see price balance out the range while tapping into the busy, and then look to take longs out of the gap. In this scenario, we create a bearish. In the scenario that we create bearish IFG, I will look to target my minor sell side line, and if we get major displacement below, I will look to target new week opening high. And just like I mentioned before, the 1 hour premium wick quadrants are not marked out, but this is what I'm talking about. Then on the 15-minute, I just created bearish IFG. Looks like we're headed towards the 1 hour busy. Created below, close below swing low, blah, 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 blah. There was no news. And then my overall was obviously higher time frame is bullish. We're at all-time highs, so I want to be looking at longs. You want to be taking longs at all-time high conditions, unless we get some very bearish displacement right off open, which I did note right here. I said in the scenario that we start displacing down, we disrespect bullish Peter race, I will target minor sell side a new week opening gap. Okay, so we open up and we create a premium opening of the opening range gap, regular trading hours, 130 point gap, which is fairly big. And as you guys can see, we open and immediately went down and took out the 15-minute swing low and tapped into this 1 hour BISI. So I noted that I got to see how we react from the 1 hour BISI to help determine the bias, the session bias. So we immediately started getting very large bearish displacement towards minor sell side. And yeah, so right here I kind of flipped my bias to bearish on the day. This was 9:38 on the 30-minute. Since we were pretty close to minor sell side and I did want to see it get hit, I started looking for 30-minute fair value gaps that we could find some support and maybe take longs out of. So what happens, we end up sweeping minor sell side, the 4 hour swing low, and we immediately dump. So to me, this tells me that we want to remain bearish and not bullish. We disrespected the gap entirely, which is not what you want to see if your bias is bullish. But yeah, and I just noted that I hope you guys didn't take that long because it would have been really silly. We were obviously bearish at this point. However, I was gonna look for an entry if we did get a change to state of delivery, meaning a candle closure over the opening price of this candle. So moving on. Right here, I just want to map out a long, and as you guys can see, there's 1, 2, 3 5-minute SIBIs, and you just don't want to be longing into that. That's a lot of resistance that could easily turn price around and push it down even lower. So at this point, I really was taking longs off the table. I noted too many 5-minute fair value gaps to take a long. Rather wait for a bullish displacement and take a continuation trade, or take a short from a 5-minute BISI. Then I noted at 9:53, waiting for the 1 hour candle closure, want to see a bearish CISD. Excuse me. So my first trade, which was the loss, was this 2-minute IFG. We tapped into a 5-minute fair value gap, respected it, and immediately came down. I risked two contracts and was just targeting sell side liquidity. So as you guys can see on the 1 hour, this basically confirmed my bearish bias, and basically after we got this change to state and delivery towards the bearish bias, I fully committed to my bearish bias, and I said if I get stopped out, I will look for a re-entry. And the reason I was already thinking I was going to get stomped out is because, as you guys can see, we faded the first percent fair value gap right here. And to me, this is a very magnetic PD ray, meaning that price will likely want to tap into it before making a move. And as you guys can see, we did not. So I was honestly not the biggest fan of this entry, but I didn't want to miss out on the trade just in case it did go. So I ended up putting risk on the table and taking the trade anyways. So my notes for that trade was bearish displacement, respecting 5-minute fair value gaps, 2-minute bearish IFG, 1 hour bearish IFG, going to create a bearish 1 hour change in the state of delivery, which we did. And then I also noted that I would prefer to see first percentage get tapped into before entering, but we didn't get that. So it is what it is. Break even at swing low and TP at the next high time frame swing low. And then obviously I got stopped out. Did not love my stop loss placement because it was right at the low of the first percent of fair value gap, which again is high probability of getting traded into. So after that, I was looking for a re-entry with less risk on the table and just one contract, just trying to make some profit and lower the money I lost. And what do we get? We end up, so this was my original stop loss right here. And what happens, like I mentioned, we tapped into this first percentage, respected consummate encroachment, and got some bearish displacement. So as soon as we saw this SIBI open up, I placed the limit for $100 of risk and just trying to recoup some of my money I lost, basically. So right here, it looked like we were going to start running towards my TP without tagging me in. And I noted if we hit my break-even point before I get tagged in, I will just call it a day and just take the loss and eat it, basically. But fortunately for us, this 3-minute SIBI got formed and consummate encroachment of that 3-minute gap aligned with our sell limit. So that gave me some confidence that we will get filled before hitting my break-even point. So what happens? We get it tagged in, and now I'm just hoping for this 3-minute SIBI to hold. So that 3-minute fair value gap holds, and we start displacing lower. I either said I want to see displacement past our break even because ES is way higher, so we could create a bullish SMT with this, and that's why I was looking for displacement lower, because if we do get large displacement, we're more than likely going to continue going lower. So yeah. So what do we get? We get a nice displacing candle below the swing low, which gave me a lot of confidence and moved my stop loss to break even. So the risk was off the table at this point, and yeah. Unfortunately, after my break even, we did start to retrace up. But in my scenario, we had this 1-minute SIBI right here to hold price down. And if you guys know about OTE, from the swing high to the swing low of the range, this was the OT price entry zone. So I still had pretty good confidence that we were going to continue going lower. And we do. So what happens? We just start stalling around for a long time. Let's see. So I got in at 10:17 for this trade, and I didn't get out for like an hour and a half. It was actually insane. But whatever. Back to my notes. On the 5-minute time frame, we respected. I know it looks like we closed above here, but we did not. So we respected this SIBI and got a beautiful 5-minute bearish IFG, which I was hype about. After this, I was pretty confident that my buy limit was going to get hit. But again, we started to stall out on the 5-minute time frame, and that just lowered my confidence because these wicks do act as support. They act as gaps. So after seeing price stall, I was not the biggest fan. I was hoping to get a 5-minute bearish CISD below this yellow line. And yeah, after this, I noted that if this 5-minute fair value gap gets inverse, I will manually close the trade because a 1-hour fair value gap opened up right here, meaning price is more than likely to go up and seek this imbalance in the market and then go even lower. So if we close above this line, I was ready to enter and take just a little bit of profit. So we respected it, and we did get that bearish CISD again. After that, after being in the trade for an hour at this point, I was just over it. So I moved my buy stop to right here because I didn't want to see this 5-minute gap get inversed. And what happens? We inverse it, and we do eventually start going higher. And fortunately for me, I did recoup some of my money that I lost. So I only ended up being down 129 dollars on the day because of this three risk reward re-entry I took on the 1 minute time frame. And as you guys can see, we ended up creating that bullish IFG, and we did go all the way back up. So yeah. And then my notes for this was same reasoning as before: bearish displacement, 15-minute fair value, 15-minute, I have 15-second IFG. Sorry. As you guys can see, this 4 hour bullish IFG was respected. Look at the candle bodies respecting consummate encroachment. So honestly, I do think we're going to go higher during Asia and London session, creating new all-time highs, but we will see. And then for the 15-second IFG I was talking about right here, it's this one. I should have entered right here, honestly, and just got a better fill, but it is what it is. I'm not upset at all. But yeah, that's basically my trade recap for the day. The win streak is unfortunately over, but that's okay. It's a part of trading. You can't expect to win every single trade. As long as you have good risk management, you should be able to hold your accounts and not blow them, and that's what I did today. So overall, I would say today was an excellent day. I didn't go on tilt or anything like that, so that's always a positive. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow we get another trade opportunity, and if so, I will make another YouTube video. Peace.